I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like, every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up. Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. I had it all 3 years ago.
But the creepy thing is that we would make access to all of these high-profile people.
Well, then I got a little concerned about why I couldn't get on. So do I think he was killed? 100%. Yes, I do. Because he made his whole living blackmailing people. Yeah. There were a lot of men in those planes, a lot of men who visited that island, a lot of powerful men who came into that apartment.
When I heard he was found dead, someone was like,
I knew immediately. And they made it seem as though he made that suicide attempt 2 weeks earlier, but his lawyers claimed that he was roughed up by his cellmate around the neck. That was all like to plant the seed, and then that's why I really believe it. Like, really believe it.
He's got to have left evidence, like, in the unexplained.
Well, Ghislaine Maxwell, who I had all sorts of stuff on her too. I love it. I'm like, it's so funny to hear everyone say her name now, because I'm like, oh my God, like, I had all the, and everyone was like, who's that? Who cares? I kept getting that. Who cares? She knows everything. She should be careful. Well, she was his, like, she went out and recruited all of these girls.
Stand by.
She should watch her back. Because if she goes, I mean, I'd have like security guards all around me.
So in November of 2015, Barack Obama was president at the time, and ABC anchor Amy Robach conducted an explosive interview with Virginia Roberts Giuffre. Virginia Giuffre was a victim of Jeffrey Epstein's. Now, I will note here that she has said Donald Trump never was inappropriate with her, ever. She said this publicly before she passed away. But anyway, here is that interview. The woman, Amy, in the video specifically mentioned fears of losing access to Prince William and Kate Middleton for further interviews. Okay, so they had this explosive interview all the way back in 2015 about the victims of Jeffrey Epstein and who else he colluded with, and they decided not to air it. The ABC anchor said producers dismissed it as a stupid story, despite Giuffre's allegations involving Bill Clinton and Prince Andrews. This video was filmed after Epstein committed alleged suicide in his jail cell on August 10 of 2019. She says, Alan Dershowitz, Prince Andrew, Clinton, they had stuff on all of them. This Virginia was in hiding for 12 years. They convinced her to come out and then didn't even air the video in which she aired out all the dirty laundry on all these guys. We are in 2025, people. Totally crazy. But the reason this is all coming to light again is in light of Giuffre's Nobody's Girl, a memoir of surviving abuse and fighting for justice. Poor thing. This memoir was released October 21st, 2025, and she criticized ABC for not airing the interview earlier. Again, the interview was conducted 4 years before his death. Epstein was essentially trafficking girls up until he was jailed in 2019. So this is why President Trump and everybody else calls ABC the fake news.
Mr. President, why wait for Congress to release the Epstein files? Why not just do it now?
Now, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You're with who?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news. ABC fake news. One of the
But the
worst.
question is
One of the
legitimate,
worst
sir.
in the business. But I'll answer your question. It's not the question that I mind. It's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You start off with a man who's highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question. And you could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psychs you over at ABC. They're going to psych it. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter. As far as the Epstein files is, I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert. But I guess I turned out to be right. But you know who does have? Bill Clinton. Larry Summers, who ran Harvard, was with him every single night, every single weekend. They lived together. They went to his island many times. I never did. Andrew Weissman, I hear. All these guys were friends of his. You don't even talk about those people. You just keep going on the Epstein files. And what the Epstein is a Democrat hoax to try and get me not to be able to talk about the $21 trillion that I talked about today. It's a hoax. Now, I just got a little report, and I put it in my pocket, of all the money that he's given to Democrats. He gave me none, zero, no money to me, but he gave money to Democrats. And people are wise to your hoax, and ABC's, your company, your crappy company, is one of the perpetrators. And I'll tell you something,
So why not just sign it now?
I think the license should be taken away from ABC, because your news is so fake, and it's so wrong. And we have a great commissioner, the chairman, who should look at that, because I think when you come in and when you're 97% negative to Trump, and then Trump wins the election in a landslide, that means obviously your news is not credible, and you're not credible as a reporter. So I've answered your question. You should go and look at the Democrats who received money from Epstein, who spent their time. Larry Summers was with him all the time. That creep, the fund guy, was with him all the time. What's his name?
Reid Hoffman.
Who? Reid Hoffman. I don't know Reid Hoffman, but I know he spends a lot of money on the radical left. Reid Hoffman, in my opinion, should be under investigation. He's a sleazebag. And those are the people, but they don't get any press, they don't get any news, and you're not after the radical left because you're a radical left network. But I think the way you ask a question with the anger and the meanness is terrible. You ought to go back and learn how to be a reporter. No more questions from you. Who else has a question?
Prince, very quickly, I want to ask.
ABC and Robach released statements today essentially saying that the story wasn't ready for air. She said that, and they said that as well, not fully vetted. ABC has still not run, all these years later, and he's dead now, the original Robach-Jeffrey interview.
It's a sickening and wicked scandal, and ABC News has to hire an independent investigator to get to the bottom of this, and they have to answer one big question. How many children were raped in the last 3 years since they spiked this story? Because, as Amy says, she had witnesses, she had victims, she had photographic evidence with a Bill Clinton connection and a British royal family connection. And ABC News said that did not meet their editorial standards. What are those standards? I want them to come clean, because they went after Brett Kavanaugh with 40-year-old hearsay, with no corroborating witnesses, no evidence, and a lot of that was furnished by Michael Avenatti, a scoundrel, a bankrupt, tax cheat who brought forth gang rape allegations with no evidence. So what were those standards that allowed that to get on air? I'd like to know. And it looks like the play was, we don't get access to royal family interviews on GMA.
Yeah.
Please. And you're not going to go protect children who are allegedly being sexually assaulted by God knows who and God knows where. And this is the Disney company.
I mean, it also smacks of a lot of similarities of what we saw with the Weinstein story. And I think that these institutions, these corporations need to ask themselves, who are we and what are we when this story comes to us? And we don't air it. I mean, Virginia Roberts, that story on what she had alone, the pictures she had of her, and her story. How many stories do you see on ABC and NBC and everywhere?
Everybody knows that this guy was wanted by many people. He was accused of blackmailing people. Remember, he had a picture of Bill Clinton in a blue dress, oil painting
an
in
oil
his
painting
mansion.
in his house, which is so weird.
Right. So check the flight records. We want to see who was on that plane. Interview the pilot. These are questions that I think we need answers to. And the Department of Justice says they're doing an investigation into what happened to the prison. Because remember, the video cameras went down that were looking at Epstein's cell. That just doesn't happen randomly.
Crazy. Yeah, there's too many crazy things there. We got to dig into it more. Jesse, thank you.
Thanks.
Good to see you, Jesse Waters, tonight.
That's all for today. Thank you. If you want global news to keep you up to date on any new developments, please subscribe our channel and forward our content with your friends on social media and email. Thank you very much for keep supporting me. Stay safe, be blessed. Namaste.
Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.